So Layup Lounge members, episode 16.
1-6.
It's going fast, man. We here.
Man, we're climbing the ranks.
Oh yeah,
improving every week.
Sure.
New setting this week as well, as you see that.
Shout out my brother Jordan.
Shout out Jordan. Come on.
Yeah, come on.
Appreciate that, Jay.
And hey, Oh, I got a lot. We got a lot to talk about actually. We're gonna just kick it right to it. We're gonna get right to it. First of all, how do you think it feels to be on the worst team in the league and get benched?
I probably don't feel the best at all. Who are you referring to?
Jordan Poole, coming off the All-Star break, gets benched on the 9-45. I think they're now 9-46. 9-45 Washington Wizards. Like, how, if you're Jordan Poole, like, what do you, like, how do you feel if you're in his position at this point?
I don't think you should feel any type of way. I mean, he's obvious. His mental is somewhere else right now. Basketball isn't that important to him, clearly. Like he said, he already has his championship. He has his contract. I feel like he's kind of content. Maybe one day we'll get the Jordan Poole that we were accustomed to in Golden State when he was a 20-point per game scorer, 6th Man of the Year candidate, even like a starting caliber 2-guard. I even said beginning of the year, I expected Jordan Poole to have a career year. I expected 30 points per game, but just the piss poor effort we've seen on the court is unacceptable. I think he's deserving of the benching, but at the same time, it's not going to help the Wizards at all. I mean, like you said, they're 9-44. That's not going to help them by benching one of their most talented players. So hopefully they can put some young guys in there that'll want to play and actually put some good effort out there.
Yeah.
But right now they're in no man's land. And Jordan Poole sucks.
Do you think they look to trade him in the offseason?
Oh, for sure. I mean, he's looked at as one of the worst contracts in the league right now, just based on how he's playing. So if we can move him, we're probably going to have to attach maybe a first or second to him, offload him like that.
That's crazy.
But I know, especially when you acquired him to be one of the cornerstones of your franchise. You anticipated him and Kuzma actually doing something in Washington this year.
Yeah.
I said they were going to win 41 games. I'm going to stand on business. I did.
Yeah.
But no, we see how they fell apart. So,
I mean, it's got to feel discouraging, obviously. I mean, I think we're already looking at the end of Jordan Poole in a Washington Wizards uniform. You saw that one turnover that he had, that sideline or the baseline out of bounds play when he basically just gave it right to Jamal. You didn't see that? He gave it right to Jamal Murray.
Oh man!
And it was really bad. So I mean, I don't know what type of situation could be better for him than this one, where the team is basically wide open. Anybody can be the leader of the team at this point.
He needs a winning culture around him is what it is. We saw what kind of player he was when he had a winning culture, they were trying to win, and he had good players around him. So I think if he were to be inserted into that sort of system, say in New York or say in Miami, where there's actually culture and there's players that are actually efficient and trying to win, I feel like we could see Jordan Poole come back. I feel like just because his team is so bad this year and there's no real hope out there, he kind of just gave up early, and we're seeing how sorry he is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that we're gonna see him in a different uniform next year. It's been a while since we talked, really. I mean, we talked before the All-Star game. And what are your thoughts about the All-Star game? Did you like what you saw? I mean, overall, just I guess All-Star weekend in general. What did you take away from All-Star weekend?
I think All-Star weekend is a waste of time. I think they do need to increase the competitive nature. I know they had Larry Bird. And some other I
think it was Larry, Andre Iguodala, and Joe Dumars maybe.
They had some NBA legends in quotes come talk to the players before the game and be yo, let's make it competitive.
Yeah.
And then they go out there and score 200 points, 198 points. That's not what this is supposed to be. We're trying to see the best players on the same team going against each other, and it's supposed to be a showcase of what the NBA's talent pool is. And that's not what it is. It's just a joke off sesh. And I think what they need to do is just make the stakes of the game higher, whether that's money. I know they already get a bonus if they win, but increase the amount, make the winner of the game get home court advantage in the finals.
I don't know. I like the idea that's been floating around international versus the world, just because I think that there would be pride taken into that game. We're the world. We're trying to beat the U.S., and then the U.S. is we're not trying to be killed by these international players, because I think that if they had a game like that, whatever the outcome would be, there'll be a discussion about, oh, wow, international players are taking over the NBA, or the U.S. still got it. So I think that that would bring back some competitiveness.
And the international team is winning too.
I mean, and the fact that we're having that discussion is like, I think that the U.S. NBA players would be hearing that and they'd, try their best. I feel like they can actually compete. Yeah. So I think that that's a great idea. I think that's going to be something that's going to be talked about.
What's it called? International. They got the Greek. They got Luka, Joker.
They got Wemby,
Embiid. Like, if you really stacked up the international dudes,
Canadian players, they got Shai.
Bro, it's a wrap. Like
Jamal Murray.
USA is cooked right now.
Yeah, they got dudes. So
USA is cooked right now.
So we'll see what happens. Joel. I mean, I know he's U.S. citizen now. We'll see. He's got to play for the world.
He got to play for the world.
He got to play for the world. Speaking of All-Star Weekend, there was, everybody's getting rested up. Everybody's getting their mind right, getting ready for the second half of the season. And I mean, I know we've been talking about this dude probably longer than we should, but he just keeps on making headlines. That is Doc Rivers.
Man.
He has notable quotes that he's had from this weekend. Quote, when he was asked about, he was talking with the Bucks organization, he said, "Why are you doing this?" Basically, when referring to firing Adrian Griffin, he went on to explain that the Bucks told him, like, we already fired him, so it don't even matter anyway. We want you for the job. He keeps on saying time and time again how, and I know you and Chuck were kind of talking on Twitter about it, like he's basically making excuses already. So when that time comes for the playoffs and they probably don't succeed in the playoffs, he's been saying, like, man, I came in the middle of the season, I had to bring in a whole new coaching staff. They had to learn a new scheme, this and that. I'm trying to get to know the players. So he's already making excuses, basically. Like, what? Like, how do you feel about that? Because I think that's weak, in my opinion. I feel like he should not have taken the job, especially because he knew what it came with it.
It's very weak. And I mean, the fact that after every game he has something to say of that nature, it's questionable. And JJ Redick actually called him out too this week on First Take and was talking about how Doc Rivers never takes accountability for anything. It's always the players. It's always somebody else.
Yeah, and you see Pat Bev, right? Pat Bev responded. Like, who started you on that? I feel like JJ was spitting.
No, JJ was spitting for sure. I mean, because Pat Bev was talking out the side of his neck. He said that Doc Rivers saved his career, like talking about JJ, that he saved his career.
His coach. He's going to defend his coach.
But at the same time, that's a lie. He didn't save JJ Redick. Like, JJ Redick was going to have a contract regardless of, like, anything.
And even after Doc, I mean.
He had a career year with the Sixers, the fact, like, after the Clippers. So, I mean, he was still going to be good in the NBA regardless of his opportunity with the Clippers.
Yeah.
But Pat Bev made it seem like he said, Doc saved your career. No one else is going to make you a 4-year starter. And then JJ just blasted him back with numbers, talking about how he defended James Harden and James Harden wasn't cooking him.
I mean, I don't know why Pat was talking out his neck. JJ, he's not like an all-time great, but he's an all-time great shooter.
For sure.
He'll be talked about, like those level of players, he'll be talked about more before Pat Bev, in my opinion. Unless, I mean, I don't know, because Pat Bev is like one of those personalities that you might be talking about for a long time too. But in terms of like a basketball player, like JJ is that guy. But going back to Doc, it's just like, what do you like? How do you feel about the comments that he made? Like, I don't know.
I think it's weak. I mean, I feel like it's time for him to. I think it's time for the team to really step up. It starts with Giannis and Dame. Yeah. Like, I know they're still trying to figure it out, but it's post All-Star break. And Shaq was talking to Dame about how he needs to like really let his guys know, like, it's time to step it up, let's get it going. And I think they have to do that, because if not, this little Milwaukee experiment where we're trying to give Giannis assets and like build something in Milwaukee post-championship, it's time to like move on from it, because Doc Rivers isn't the answer. Damian Lillard's not playing like he should be. Like, what's next here in Milwaukee? So I feel like Doc Rivers is a no-go, though. I think they got to move on from either the end of the season or pack him up. Pack him up right now.
You're saying, nah, they can't do that. He's been there for 10 games, literally. He's going to finish the season. There's no way he gets fired. They signed him to a multi-year deal in that, so I think he at least survives until All-Star break of next year. Because there's no way they're going to drop him after whatever happens here. Because like you said, he's laid the groundwork for his excuses. He's saying, I came in the middle of the season. Why would you fire me? Like, basically, like, it's not my fault. Like, you guys are the ones that hired Adrian Griffin. You guys decided to fire him for whatever reason. You brought me in. I mean, yes, he knew what was coming with it. And that's why I think that it'll be his fault going down the line if anything bad happens to that team. Like, if they don't succeed the way they do, I'm automatically going to blame him. I think that him making these excuses to me, I'm looking at him more. I'm looking at him more in this situation. I don't think that he's helping himself out by making these excuses.
I think, honestly, outside of Doc Rivers, Damian Lillard is he has to take a lot of the blame, I'd say, for the farce and like the lack of success in Milwaukee.
Okay, but you got to think about this though. Like, this is his first time playing with a all-star. We're not even just superstar, all-star in almost his whole career. I mean, he was with LaMarcus for maybe like 3 seasons, maybe.
Yeah.
But he hasn't played with a superstar caliber player like Giannis. And so that it's gonna take some time to get used to, take some time to adjust, because I mean, he's always been that guy. And even though Giannis is saying like it's Dame's team or whatever, you can tell that Dame's still trying to fit in. You know what I'm saying? So
but that's what it comes down to for me, is the leadership aspect. Like Dame was it was no question who was the alpha in Portland. Like, he was the unquestioned, unprecedented like alpha. Like, and now we get to Milwaukee and it feels like he's almost trying to defer to Giannis. Like, they're still trying to figure out who it is, and like Giannis is saying it's your team. Damian Lillard really needs to step up and own that. Like,
do you think he's putting so you think Giannis truly believes that, or you think it's just because like Giannis is trying to throw the pressure to him? Like, what do you think that, like, is there anything else to make up of that?
I feel like we know what Giannis brings to the table every night. Like, regardless of who he's like saying the team is, like, he's just looking for a leader. Like, Giannis, it probably isn't the best vocal leader, and that's what we're looking for, is just vocal leadership. We're looking for an alpha, and I think Damian Lillard, he is the alpha, and he should act like the alpha of that team. But I still think they're trying to like give and take. Like, Damian's not checking people how he should. Like, he needs to take control of that team and like lead them like he did in Portland, because that's what they're lacking, is leadership right now. And Doc Rivers is not that leader they need. So I'm looking at Damian Lillard to step up and almost be like that player coach in this sense, and be like, get the guys in line, like really lead them like how he should be. So be the Damian Lillard we're used to. Come on, Lillard.
Yeah, hey, he gonna show up. He gonna show up.
Lils.
I just got a few names, and you're going to tell me if they're Hall of Fame or not. We're going to play the Hall of Fame game again, because I've been thinking about this for a while. We talked about a couple of these players. Actually, I only got 3 names. We talked about one player already last episode, but we're actually going to start off with him. Is Kyrie Irving a Hall of Famer?
100,000% Kyrie Irving is a Hall of Famer.
Okay.
NBA champion, perennial All-Pro, one of the greatest scorers of all time, one of the greatest ball handlers of all time, if not the greatest ball handler of all time, and just unmatched impact on the game. I feel like when you really look at how he's laid his fingerprints over the game of basketball, Kyrie Irving's name comes up when it comes to scoring, when it comes to finishing around the rim, when it comes to ball handling. He's almost in the same conversation, has like the same lore of a player like Allen Iverson, I feel like, where it's like, regardless of what you look at the game, regardless of how many championships or whatever they won, they're just one of those respected players who could go get a bucket, who was just different compared to everybody else, I feel like.
Do you think that his career, I don't know, because when I think of him, he's almost in that, I can see him being out the Hall of Fame for a long time, similar to Chauncey Billups. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, Charlie Billups, and he was a Finals MVP.
Okay, but we can't do that.
And Kyrie Irving, again, he hasn't won anything since he got out of Cleveland. You know, he betted on himself, and it has not succeeded thus far. And so I think that he can be, like, I think he will make it, but the way that it's been so long for Chauncey Billups to make it, I think that similar situation could happen to Kyrie Irving.
No, we can't even compare Kyrie to Chauncey Billups.
So he's first ballot.
I 100% think so, especially if the way things are laid out right now and how his setup in Dallas is. Give Kyrie 3 years of uninterrupted basketball in Dallas.
Okay.
How his contract is what, 3 years?
I think it's 3.
3 years, yeah. Give him 3 years of uninterrupted hoop in Dallas. Maybe a Western Conference Finals appearance. Maybe a Finals appearance in Dallas. He's right back in that conversation of being one of the best guards of our generation. Okay. So I feel like he's already top 75. We have to consider that also. He's made one of the biggest shots.
Whoa. He didn't make the list.
He didn't?
No.
I swear he was top 75.
He didn't make the list.
Okay, well, he's top 100.
He didn't make the list.
He
didn't make the list.
So it's what, him, Clay, and Dwight that were like the first 3 ice stuff?
And Dwight should have been in there.
Dwight for sure.
He should have been in there.
But no, I think when looking at Kyrie Irving, bro, he's one of the most prolific scorers, ball handlers, isolation players we've ever seen.
Are you one of those dudes that think that he should have made it over Damian Lillard?
It's close. I think it's really close when you weigh them pound for pound. I think Damian Lillard gets the benefit of the doubt because he's played with Portland his whole career. He's carried the weight of that franchise. And Kyrie Irving has never done that for an individual team and done it by himself like that.
And I don't think he ever will.
No,
unfortunately.
He won't. But I think that kind of just segued into another topic. Look at him right now. I feel like Luka Doncic, he's not a Robin to Luka Doncic. He's more so of Batman, and Luka's just Superman, is how I look at it. And Luka, he can do everything on his own. Like, he can go get a bucket, he can rebound, he can play make. Kyrie, though, he's just always been his own. He can hold his own scoring-wise anywhere. So I feel like he's not necessarily Robin. Everyone wants to make him Robin, but he can go pound for pound scoring-wise with whoever he's on the same team with. So I feel like, in that sense, we have to give him his flowers and give him his respect, and Kyrie Irving is a first-ballot Hall of Famer.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. Again, I'm going to stand on it. I'm going to still say that Dallas needs to go get a number 2, excuse me. I think Kyrie would make out to be a good number 3. But anyways, and with that being said, I think Kyrie's going to make the Hall of Fame. But again, I think it's going to be one of those.
First ballot.
Chauncey Billups.
Man.
Chauncey Billups. Second name I got here, I got 3 names. Second name, we got Jimmy Butler. Is Jimmy Butler a Hall of Famer?
Jimmy Butler will be a Hall of Famer, but he'll be a late Hall of Famer. He'll be a trickling guy. I could see that. Just because winning player, yet again, All-Pro, winning player, All-Pro, finals appearances. I feel like he's not had the benefit of the doubt with his teams. The best team he was on was that Sixers team.
So you don't think a ring? So let's just say he doesn't win a ring. You think he's still Hall of Fame?
I think so. I think he could eventually get it.
I don't know, man. He's been really good. I don't know. Because at that point, we're giving Hall of Fame to anybody if he makes it. You know what I'm saying? I think he's one of those players where he's in that category of
Jimmy Butler needs a ring.
I think he needs a ring. I don't think he makes it without one, and I think he also needs to be a key contributor to that ring. It can't be a Gary Payton ring. You know what I'm saying? He's got to be on front line. We got to be talking about who is Finals MVP if and when he wins that ring. Like, he's got to be the best player on the championship team, in my opinion, in order for him to be in the Hall of Fame at this point.
He definitely needs a ring. I feel like he's solid enough, but if he has that ring, that'll put him over the edge. But
yeah. And then the last name I got on here, Karl Anthony Towns. Is Karl Anthony Towns a Hall of Fame player?
I say hell no. As of right now, hell no. There's
really
not enough down on paper for me. I mean, he's All-Pro, All-Star. Other than that, what else has Cat done? Rookie of the Year? I feel like
he got hardware.
But I mean, other than that, like we haven't won anything. I think we got to go win something. We got to be a competing team. We have to have success. So I feel like this year is their best shot to like make some noise. Number 1 seed right now, but I don't know. Right now, no, absolutely not. Yeah, we need some more.
The self-claiming best big man shooter of all time. You don't think?
Not yet. No, he got to shoot like this for another 7 years.
Okay,
and then we can start talking Hall of Fame. But no,
I think he has a chance. I think, like you said, he needs a ring. I honestly think he needs a ring in Minnesota. I think that he's been there for so long. It'd look bad if you don't get one there, especially because he's had pieces around him. He ran
pieces.
Yeah, he ran Jimmy Butler out of there. A. Wiggins has thrived without his presence. I just think that with the setup he got now, this is his best chance to win a ring. If they don't win a ring, honestly, and we're gonna get right into it. We talk about the contenders, the true contenders in the league. I think that they have a chance to go to the finals.
Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota has, what are they, top three in the West? Mm-hmm. I think they got the best.
They're number 1 right now.
Yeah, they're the best team in the West, in my opinion. I mean, it's them and OKC. OKC's too young, though. I think that Minnesota can do it. But at the same time, I can also see them losing to a team like the Lakers or the Warriors in the first round if one of those teams are in the bottom seed. So, I mean,
the Warriors are starting to pick. Yeah, the Warriors are just starting to get momentum, and that's always a scary team to see. I feel like Dallas is also catching their stride this year. They made some good moves at the trade deadline as well. So I feel like that's a team in the West to for sure look out for. But I do like Minnesota a lot. I feel like that their front court of Rudy and Cat has finally gelled nicely. And I mean, Ant-Man's doing his thing. Jaden's out there. 4th best player on the court, 250 though. But no, they're hooping. I feel like if they do have a shot, this year's their year. So
how many contenders are in the NBA right now? Like, who do you think the true contenders are?
True contenders, I like Boston.
Okay.
I think Boston's my favorite right now, actually, too.
And that's crazy that Milwaukee just. I mean, it's Damian Lillard at the end of the day, but the defense is struggling over there in Milwaukee. So you got that guy going to Boston. It's scary. That's going to be a good playoff series. I hope they match up.
Yeah. I like Boston. I think Milwaukee's still definitely contender.
They got to be. You got to respect it. Yeah, for sure.
Philly. I think those are my 3 in the East right now.
Okay.
And then the West. Man, the West is tough right now just because it's jam-packed.
It's got to be the Clippers. I mean, I've famously said that I got to see it to believe it, but it's gelling real nice right now, so I respect it for now.
And they're healthy.
They're healthy.
I'll give the Clips a spot. They get the 3rd spot. After that, give me Minnesota at 2.
Yep.
And right now, give me Dallas. I'm taking Dallas at number 1 to win the West, brother.
Dallas?
Yes. And I like Dallas. They have the best player in the West in Luka Doncic.
Dallas Mavericks.
Yes.
Could they beat the Celtics?
Yes.
You think really?
Luka Doncic is arguably the best player in the world right now. And he's averaging 34. Easily. Like a 34 piece is the average.
I think he's gonna get gassed. I think at some point he's gonna get gassed. And then, like I said, Kyrie Irving, I don't think Kyrie Irving can hold enough weight for them to get past him being gassed, getting past Luka being gassed.
I just feel like at this point in Luka's career, he's ready to make that next jump. He's been to the playoffs a couple of times. Mm-hmm. He's beat the Suns he beat the Suns before. Has some playoff wins under his belt. He's ready to take that next jump. So why not take that next jump this year while you have this is the best roster he's had. I mean, this roster, roster fits it's built around him. Yeah. So I mean, the fact that it looks this good right now and the way it's lined up, I really think Dallas could be a Western. And we're forgetting one team.
Who are we forgetting?
Denver.
Yeah, we're sleeping, man. They're coasting right now. So understandably so. I feel like they're coasting right now. I feel like that's normal for a championship team that's coming off a championship.
Yeah.
I think they are going to lock back in as soon as they hit the playoffs. And, man, yeah, I don't know. I think that Minnesota matches up with them really well. Mm-hmm. Dallas, not so much. I think that the Denver Nuggets are better than the Dallas Mavericks still.
That's a close one for me. That's close for me.
I don't think it's that close.
Well, Luka Doncic is the X factor, though. I mean, there's no answer for him, and he can win you a game any night. So, and Kyrie Irving's there too. So let's not sleep on Kyrie and his playoff heroics. Let's really look at.
When has he been? When's the last time he's been a hero in the playoffs?
Okay, but he's still on his resume. It's still on his resume, and we can't act like Kyrie Irving is not Kyrie Irving.
Oh man, that was almost a decade ago, bro. We keep having this discussion. It was almost a decade ago.
You know what I mean? When him and LeBron scored 43. I mean,
the 41 and 41.
Yeah, 41. If you need somebody to I need buckets, I need help, let's go win this game, you got him. You got the answer. You got the answer. If you need someone to go win this game with you.
But he's getting old, bro. He's getting older now. I don't know.
We can't act like Kyrie's still not good for 30.
I don't even know if he finished his contract with the Mavs.
That's just the Kyrie Irving effect. You never know. That's why I said if he gets 3 years of uninterrupted hoop, it gotta be uninterrupted. I think
that's why he re-signed with Dallas, right? Because I think he knows that's it's a cool little place to be.
Nice little bag too.
Yeah,
Mark Cuban's not gonna play.
Yeah, so I don't know.
I want to just talk about one of the young budding stars in the league right now. I think he'd be my favorite to win Rookie of the Year if Victor Wembanyama wasn't running away with it, leading the league in blocks, leading the league in blocks per game and stuff like that. He's going to win the Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
Number 2, though, I think we have to start talking about Brandon Miller and how he's going to be a future superstar in this league. From what I've seen on court and just how his rhythm is already translating from college to the league, I feel like within the next 2 to 3 seasons, we're going to be seeing one of the most elite perimeter scorers, young perimeter scorers that we've seen in a long time. Same sort of energy, like his favorite player, Paul George, one of those young, lengthy wing scorers who we can look forward to seeing in the league for the next decade. He's established himself already as an elite perimeter scorer, I feel like. He can create his own shot. The highlight factor is there as well. Mm-hmm. I think he's destined for stardom, especially playing next to LaMelo Ball. I feel like it's a given.
So you got him over Chet for Rookie of the Year then?
I think it's tough. I mean, I feel like Chet still hasn't carried enough weight. I feel like he's had a good rookie bout. But
do you see the difference in OKC teams between last year and this year? They were a playing team last year, I believe, and they played the Pelicans. if I'm not mistaken. They played somebody in the play-in. They went from that to first, second seed in the Western Conference.
Okay, you swap Brandon Miller in with Chet. I think they still do the same thing.
No,
I feel like
no.
I mean,
they need a big because they needed a big this whole time.
No, they did.
Brandon Miller would not fill the void. He wouldn't fill that same void that Chet is now filling.
Okay, but imagine that backcourt of Shai and Brandon Miller. We can't talk about how that wouldn't be one of the. That'd be a top.
Williams.
That would okay, but I'm saying you could put him at the 3. You could slot Giddey out at that point. But Brandon Miller, if he's in OKC, he's starting, and him and Shai, that's a top 5 backcourt in the NBA
He's for
already.
Sure. He's for sure starting.
Already, that's top 5 backcourt in the NBA.
Giddey's playing terrible.
Yeah, Giddey. Yeah, and we can't even rock with Giddey at all.
Yeah,
so
he should have been. I mean, he has no trade value. He should have been out of there.
Yeah, that's a PR nightmare. We do not want to bring Josh Giddey to
Imagine
the
if he was in that Charlotte trade. Charlotte.
See, then it would be bad news.
That Charlotte trade would be nasty. But he's been solid. He's been nice. I still think, and it might be biased in this, but I still think Scoot's going to turn it around. I think that the reaction that Charlotte had when they picked Brandon Miller, I think that's going to be that same reaction in the next 5 years. When Scoot comes up and Brandon Miller is still averaging his 16 points a game that he's averaging. Obviously, he doesn't affect winning that much because they're still ass.
They don't have LaMelo Ball, though.
I don't think that they were terrible with him. It don't even matter.
Okay, but we can't act like they're also not one of the youngest teams in the league. So let's give it a couple years.
I mean,
him and LaMelo backcourt 2 years from now. Let's talk hoop. Like, they're going to be one of the best backcourts in the league.
I don't think LaMelo. The next how many years?
2.
Maybe
even next year it's going to be scary.
I think LaMelo is going to be out of there. Like, he's not going to finish his contract with Charlotte either. I think that he's going.
He got a what? 2 years left?
Yeah, man. Golden State fumbled the bag with that.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Brandon Miller's cool though. Like, he's had a couple 25-point games or so. Like, he's been real nice.
And it's the highlight factor for me too. I mean, like, all-stars, they always got to have that deciding factor. Like, what can you do that's going to bring in the clicks almost? And, bro, windmills, tomahawk dunks, step-back threes, making people touch earth. Like, bro, he's doing stuff the fam. I like to see that stuff. Like,
I think you describing Scoot Henderson, though.
Stop it.
Scoot Henderson's doing the same stuff.
If I compare Scoot's rookie year highlights right now to Brandon's, it's a wash.
Scoot got way better highlights.
No, it's a wash.
I promise you.
No, it's a wash.
You don't see more buckets out of Brandon, but highlight factor, because you talk about the highlight factor all the time. Highlight factor,
that's
Scoot
important.
got it.
Okay, not on the same level as
You just see the no-look dime he had against Denver?
Yes, I see that.
He said,
we're good off of that. We're very good. You see when Brandon Miller took off against Golden State? That's the highlights we want to see. We like to see dunks.
Okay, so who's going to be a better player in the next 5 years? Scoot Henderson or Brandon Miller?
Brandon Miller, 100%.
No.
Scoot Henderson is probably going to be, at his best, Andre Miller. He's gonna,
bro.
He's
what? Andre Miller?
Yes, he's gonna be a back down point guard, a post up point guard, playmaking by the end of his career.
Hell no.
Yeah, I can already see it.
They were comparing him to Marcus Smart. I was like, we did not just spend the 3rd pick on Marcus Smart. I think he's gonna be. He's had flashes. You can't even deny that. He's had flashes of stardom. I think that him, and he's 19. I mean, no one's giving him the benefit of the doubt. I think I blame Portland. I blame the Portland Trailblazers for putting that pressure on him that early, because I think that if Portland wasn't talking about, he's not your average 19-year-old. Like, I think if they were just like, we're going to just develop him, slowly I think that we'd be looking at him in a different lens. But I think since that Portland's was like, he's a star.
Yeah.
Like, before they even touched the NBA floor, he's a star. He's been cooking in practice. He's the best passer. He's so fat, like, we ever seen. Like, things like that. I think that if that pressure wasn't on him in the beginning of the season, I think that we'd be looking at him in a brighter light. And I think that he's been improving. He's back starting. I think he's going to start for the rest of the season. And I think it just needs to be known that mistakes are going to happen. I think even with Scoot being, like, even if he was nice, like, Portland wouldn't be going anywhere anyway. I think they just need time to gel. And yeah, I mean, Anthony, we'll see what happens with Anthony Simons. I mean, hopefully, if Scoot gets nice, I can see Anthony leaving, just because they're not going to trade Shane Sharp. I think Shane Sharp is really the future for real. I honestly think he's going to be the best player of the team.
I can
at some point. I think Shaden's going to be the best player on the team. And I think Scoot is just going to be supporting Shaden more than Shaden supports Scoot.
Scoot, Shaden, and Anthony's out the door. That's how I see it. Anthony's the odd man out in this situation. Trade him to a contender. Let him be that sixth man.
Orlando Magic, bro. No, but he'd start on the Magic. But I'm saying, like, Anthony in Orlando, you know how turned that'd be?
No, that'd be lit. I've also seen Clay to Orlando. How you feel about that?
That's ugly.
There was like an edit going around, but
I mean, they would. If he's in Orlando, I promise you this: if he's in Orlando, it's because they overpay for him. They're trying to get names, and I wouldn't touch Clay, honestly.
35 the other night off the bench.
How many did he have last night? Three. Bro, I swear you can see. I can see him mentally breaking. Bro, he's missing middies. Like, he's still taking those tough shots that he takes.
Barely making.
And now he can't even hoop against the second unit. Like, come on, bro, it's over. Clay, start a podcast, bro. It's over.
No,
it's over.
He got so many different interests, so he gonna find something.
He gonna get interest from JJ Redick's pod, ESPN.
No, literally.
He looks like he want to sit down with Austin Rivers.
No, he
sit at the desk, bro. He's cooked.
He's ready. Allen Iverson was just actually on somebody's podcast.
I think it was Shaq's
podcast. Yeah. And he was talking about just like the pacing of today's NBA game and how Kobe's MVP season when he scored 35, he was actually averaging 33. And he said that pacing of today's league, he believes he would average 43 in today's NBA. Roman, do you think Allen Iverson is averaging 43 points in the modern NBA today?
No, he's not averaging 43 points because first of all, he's too small. I think the only person that can average 43 in today's game is probably Luka, because Luka be getting bucks, but he's too small. Like, he's not. I don't know. The spacing is a little bit better now than it was then, just because the game is threes.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, but. No, I don't
that was his main argument too. He was just saying there's more spacing now. There's no hand checking allowed. Like, he would just be able to get like more buckets. He'd get to the free throw line more. And I agree with you though. Too small.
He can't shoot like that either. Like, he's not
30%. Yeah, he's 30% from three.
Like, he's got to be a better shooter. Like, he couldn't shoot. So, like, I think that he would have to be a better shooter in order for that to happen. Like, he could probably average, like, in his prime, so average whatever he averaged in his prime. But he's not. Like, he'd be, like, you can't see Ja Morant averaging 43, right? He'd be a similar player to Ja. A little less athletic, but it'd be the same thing. Ja can't shoot like that. He can make them, but he's not pulling 10 a game like all these other guys. So, no, he's not. He's tripping. I don't know what he's talking about.
43 a game is outlandish.
43 a game is outlandish.
And I was just thinking, like, look at the talent in today's NBA. I understand Allen Iverson is pound for pound the greatest player of all time, whatever. Like, give him his respect. But if Steph Curry's not averaging 43, if Luka's not averaging 43,
yeah, definitely. Like, if Luka's not averaging 43, there's just no way.
There's like, if we're like, even if Shai, I'll give Shai that. If Shai's not averaging 43, like, he's like one of the craftiest scorers we've seen, like, almost ever. I feel like if we really looking at how he's scoring the ball and like his season that he's had or the career he's putting together already, he's one of the craftiest scorers we've seen. So I feel like if dudes like that aren't averaging that 40 piece, hell no. Like, he's not. No, I love you, AI, but no, not happening.
He's not. And you talked about Shai. I'm gonna say something right now that might be crazy, and I truly believe this. He might be the best player to ever wear an Oklahoma City uniform.
Whoa, that's okay. Now we're tripping. Now you're tripping.
He might be the best player at the time, of course. Not like with the time of them being in Oklahoma City. I think he's the best player.
So he has to win MVP this year, then, right?
He's gonna
because
do
if
it.
you're talking,
he
has to win MVP this
That's
year.
That's fine. I think
because if not, then
he's neck and neck with Jokic. I think they're not going to vote for Jokic. Voters fatigue. I think he's going to get it.
Okay, but I'm just saying, if he has to win MVP to even be in the conversation of best player to wear OKC jersey, because now you're talking Westbrook and KD. So you win the MVP, cool. That moves you on to the next tier of Russell Westbrook's triple-double year, where he did everything for that team.
And we're eighth seed, by the way. They were the 8th seed, averaging a triple-double.
Name his second best player. Steven Adams.
Victor Oladipo.
I don't even know if VO was getting...
VO was getting to it. No, VO was solid in Oklahoma City.
Okay, but that was... No, it was Westbrook. It was Westbrook by himself. He ain't have no real help.
They not, bro. Think about it. OKC's not even supposed to be this good right now.
The fact that
they're not, and it's because of Shai.
Okay, they should be this good though. If you really look at it, the fact that they haven't been anything.
All they did was just add Chet. This is the same team as last year, and they were bottom of the totem pole. All they did was get a center, and that was all they were missing this whole time was a center.
I don't know, man. All I'm saying is Shai himself, Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook. Those are some heavy hitting names and some heavy.
Okay, so he's already top 3. He's already top 3. He's got to be then. Those are the only 2 names you said. Who else is better? I don't want to hear Nick Collison.
No, he's a better Sonic than he was a better Thunder.
I don't want to even hear James Harden. No. James Harden was not a better Oklahoma City
he wasn't.
He was not.
No, he wasn't. But no, he's third. I'll slot him in at third. I mean, yes,
okay, so if he's not there right now, then by the end of this year,
he has to win MVP.
He'll be one.
Okay, but no, that's the thing. If he doesn't win MVP, then no.
And look, check this out, right? They're title contenders. If they win a ring, there's no question.
There's no question, for sure.
There's no question. It's not even a debate.
It's no debate.
Because he'll be finals MVP.
But that's what I'm saying.
He'll be the reason why.
When it comes to hardware, defining hardware, he's already all pro.
He's good at, bro. He's been first team last year.
Yes.
He's better, so he's going to get first team again. He's going to win the MVP.
I'm just saying, you're calling him top 3 already, or you're trying to put him at 1 already. Westbrook and KD already got the MVP and first team All-Pro. So he's playing catch-up.
No.
He's playing catch-up. He's third.
If they make it to the finals, I think he's already there. Because this team is, bro, a bunch of 24-year-olds making it to, it's the same. I mean, it's the same situation, but
what age were they when they made it to the finals? 23? 24?
Okay, but if they win it, if they win the finals, he's the best player to ever.
So they're being Boston?
Retire the jersey.
Instantly retire the jersey.
Retire the jersey.
Instantly if they win.
At the parade.
Yeah, at the parade.
The parade, I think it ends by going to the stadium. Yeah. As soon as you walk, have the ceremony right there if they win the finals this year. And I think they got a chance. They got a real legit shot. They just got Gordon Hayward. He didn't play that much last night, but he's going to be all right for them. They got Bismack Biyombo, so they got a backup big. Serviceable, dirty work guy. So I don't know. I think that he's gonna be an OKC GOAT by the end of this year.
If he doesn't win MVP, they have to win.
He's gonna win MVP.
They have to win. He has to win MVP, or they have to win the championship.
I'm really high on Shai. I've been high since the beginning of the season. I've been high on him.
I'll give you props on that. I've
been high on him. It's looking green beans right now. I mean, obviously Joel Embiid helped out with that, unfortunately. And I think Philly might miss the playoffs, bro. I don't know. I don't think they got enough muscle to hold it up. But yeah, man, I think he could be he can be the OKC GOAT, retire the jersey.
I can see it.
At the parade.
If they win,
If they win, bro, he's the best player to ever put on a uniform over there. What are your second half of the NBA expectations?
I expect some of the veteran teams that were coasting to pick it up, like the Golden State Warriors. They've started to gel together a little bit. I still think they're a contending team. Mm-hmm. I feel like they're going to upset one of these young teams, like in the playoffs or the play-in, however it shakes out. I also feel like, even though LeBron's ankles broke off, I feel like you still got to watch out for the leg show.
You think the Lakers are going to make the playoffs?
I feel like, if they get their foot in the door, it's scary. And I feel like...
But are they going to get that foot in the door is the question.
Yes, they are. And I feel like it's going to be a similar situation to last year. It's going to come down to the last couple games. But if these veteran teams get their foot in the door, scary business in the West. Look out for Golden State and the Lakers. In the East, second half predictions, I feel like Boston's going to run away with it. I feel like they're a neck ahead of every other team out there. They have a substantial, I think they got like a 6-game lead out there.
One is locked.
It's locked. So I mean, I feel like everyone's kind of not really talking about them like that much. They're not getting that much attention. They're one of the best contending teams though. So I feel like Boston's going to run away with it, and I feel like we're going to see Boston back in the NBA Finals.
Okay. My expectations are that Oklahoma City is going to get it done, man. Oklahoma City is going to get it done. I think
finals.
They're going to make it to the finals. Western Conference Finals matchup is going to be OKC and the Phoenix Suns. OKC and the Phoenix Suns. I think somehow, some way, KD's going to figure it out. But when it gets to OKC, they're not going to have enough juice to do it. Or the Clippers, though. But I don't really trust the Clippers. But either way it shakes. I think OKC is going to make it to the finals.
Man. I don't know about that one. That's a
I
gauntlet.
think that the Warriors are not going to make the playoffs still. I know that they're playing well right now. I think that's my take right there. They're not going to make the playoffs.
As long as you got Steph Curry, you got a shot.
They for sure got a shot, but I think it's a late push right now, in my opinion. I think it's too late. I think they got to go back to the drawing board in the offseason. Eastern Conference. I think that's Orlando Magic. I think they're going to come back up. Oh, bro, that's a banger. Shout out to the social team over there. I think that they go hit top 6. I think they're 8th right now, if I'm not mistaken.
I think 7th or 8th, yeah.
Yeah, I think they're in the play-in right now. I think that they're going to claim 6 back, and I think they're going to give a very entertaining first round. I think they're going to be a hard out, in my opinion. I think that we're going to end up seeing Boston and Milwaukee, and I think that the Milwaukee Bucks are going to beat them in the Eastern Conference Finals. I think or however it goes, whether it's first round or Eastern Conference, I think that Milwaukee Bucks are going to get them.
Drew Holiday's going to be in Dame's socks.
And I can't.
He gonna be in his insoles.
I mean, it's gonna be personal because they they chose him over me.
Yeah,
chose up. I think Dame's gonna torch him though. I mean, that was 10 years ago the last time that happened. I think that Dame's gonna be ready. They be on Dame talking about you can't get past the first. He be locked in the playoffs, bruh. He be.
No, he do.
He's one of the best playoff players of all time, like individual playoff players of all time. Like he puts up numbers. He's just been on a boo-boo Portland Trailblazer team for the last 5 years. So I mean, it's been tough. I think that I think Milwaukee's gonna get there, and then they lose to Oklahoma City in the finals.
I like that finals though. That'd be fun to watch.
That would be a great finals. They're gonna be Giannis versus Chet. I mean that lineup really. Jalen Williams. They gonna know. They don't know his name now. They're gonna know his name everywhere as soon as he's gonna be real big for them in the finals. And Jalen Williams is probably the best third option in the NBA. Who's the best third? You think so, or who you think's the best?
He's up there for sure. I mean, in terms of just getting his own bucket, getting being a playmaker, defender, he fills all the necessary gaps as well as being that third scorer that can go get his own bucket. So I mean, I really like J-Dub a lot.
Real quick.
Underrated for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And speaking of third options as well, how do you feel with all-star selections? I think Charles Barkley was if you're the third option on your team, you should not be an all-star. Do you feel any truth to that? I feel I don't know, if you're putting up, Chris Middleton. Is Chris Middleton really an all-star player?
In his prime, yes. But that's because he was the second best player on their team.
Do you think it was more of, say the Bucks were 6th seed instead of first when they were
no, not at all.
putting up the exact same numbers?
Yeah. I feel team success definitely plays a part. If you're the number 1 seed, you're rolling, best team in the league by far, that's when your second and third guys get a nod. Or that one year all the dudes from the Hawks made the All-Star team.
Kyle Korver's not an All-Star.
Yes, he is.
But I'm saying, but he's not an all-star player though.
But he made the all-star team.
Was he a top 24 player in the NBA at the time where he made the all-star team?
He was a top 3 shooter.
That don't get you in an all-star game. JJ Redick should be a 10-time all-star at that point then.
Maybe. Hey. Kyle Korver's all-star.
He's a bum.
Kyle Korver.
He's a bum. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead. It's you.
One question I got for you. Who's one player from back in the day, you can pick any era you want, who you think would be a monster in today's modern NBA?
I mean, Michael Jordan's the easy answer. I ain't gonna say Mike. Who would be who? You go first, bro. I don't know.
Somebody, I got Reggie Miller. This is who I was thinking instantly, just because the fact that he made that many three-pointers in the 90s and early 2000s when he was playing, before it was common ground to get your attempts up to 10 per game. The fact that he was able to make that many, the difficulty of the shots, the efficiency, I feel he played today, he would be he'd be up there as one of the best players in the league, not only just scorers, but just like overall players in the league, just based on how he was moving. So I was always like Reggie Miller and his antics too. Like, you know, he's one of them dudes. But I think like modern NBA, Reggie Miller shooting wise, getting all the foul calls, getting to the free throw line, he'd be legit.
Shit. I mean, you know how social media would be so turned up if Magic Johnson was.
Oh my God,
bro! Magic Johnson in this era, bro.
Oh my!
I think he can eat, bro. I just think that, I mean, he just couldn't shoot well enough, but he's getting to the cup. Like, I don't want to sound crazy, bro. Like, he would be like Ben Simmons. You know what I'm saying? Like but I'm saying like when Ben Simmons was nice, like. I think that peak Ben Simmons would look like Magic Johnson in this era, if that makes sense.
No,
I'm not saying
peak Ben.
No, like where he was supposed to go.
Yeah,
he was supposed to look like Magic right now. Can't shoot, but he's getting to the cup. He's throwing dimes. Like that was supposed to be Ben Simmons, and and now we see him in videos with the Vision Pro instead of in the private jet with the Vision Pro instead of him hooping. Like I don't understand. Like, but I don't know what happened to that dude. Because as soon as he passed off a shot, he could have boomed on Trae Young, but instead he passed it to Matisse Thybulle.
No, and his whole career just went downhill since that exact play. I mean, he was on. Even that series just kind of threw his whole career off trajectory.
And I think that's partially Doc Rivers' fault. Doc Rivers broke that.
Back to square one.
They said, right, common denominator, bro. He said, he got asked after the game, is he your starting point guard? Is he your future point guard of this franchise? He said, I don't know.
Now, what kind of coach doesn't defend their players?
I mean, even if you, like, honestly, and even if you didn't feel like he was,
you don't say that.
You're employed by the 76ers. You don't say stuff like that, bro. Like you don't do that.
No, that was ugly. That was ugly on his part.
But I'm so confident that Ben Simmons was supposed to be Magic Johnson. But like imagine, like Ben Simmons would be literally like, and that's what I'm saying. Magic, that would have never happened to him, and he'd be thriving just like that. I think he would thrive in today's NBA.
Especially social media, like the highlight factor.
They might be calling him the GOAT. No. That's why when we was talking about Magic versus Jordan, I don't know, the highlights I've seen of Magic, like, if you go highlights for highlights, it's close. When you split highlights, obviously as a basketball player, Michael Jordan is better than him, but when you just split the highlights up and you're like, Magic might have more highlights than Michael Jordan. Maybe.
It's close. More like iconic ones.
Right.
Too. Yeah.
Like,
literally.
Stuff like that.
A sitting down bounce pass when he's sitting on his...
Yeah.
Crazy.
And I got one more question, because we're talking about players from that era, and a player from that era might come up. Who is the best player to never win a championship?
To never win a championship.
Who is the best player to never win a championship? Because I got one in mind, but it might be Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley might be the best player to never win a ring.
That's a very good one.
Olympic team. He was dominant on that team full of Michael Jordans, Magic Johnsons. Whether if it was because they were just chilling and relaxing and Charles took it seriously, who knows? But he was probably the best player on that team, or at least top three, at the very least. He won an MVP. He took a Phoenix Suns team to the finals. They didn't have any other All-Stars. Kevin Johnson, like, I don't talk about dude today. I mean, come on, he's a politician now. Bro was literally a 6'5" power forward, bro. Getting boards at 6'5", like
20 rebound games and stuff.
Right.
Literally crazy. I don't know how he's doing that.
Bro's not. Does he have his jersey retired in Philly?
Yes, he does.
How long was he in Philly for?
4 years? I think just his rookie contract.
But
no, they got a statue of him out there too. Like at the practice facility, they got like a little Charles Barkley statue.
Is Shaq worthy of a practice facility statue outside of Orlando?
Yes, for sure. And the fact that they gave Chuck one at the practice facility.
That is kind of nuts. Okay, I didn't.
Chuck got a statue in Philly. I think he spent 4 years there. Because then he went to Phoenix. Then after
And
that.
then he was ring chasing.
Chasing after
Houston.
that.
Yeah,
He was everywhere. Honestly, for me, I was trying to think of MVPs who haven't won a ring. One that comes to mind off rip for me, James Harden. I think when you really look at James Harden's career body of work, MVP, one of the greatest scorers of all time. I think a championship is what would really like solidify his resume as one of the best players of our era.
Hold on.
And I think that really hurts him that he doesn't have a ring.
Okay. But now that he's not in his peak anymore, do you think a ring will still boost up his resume?
For sure, because it's not like he's a bum.
No, he's not. No, he's not a bum. But
he's
like,
still out. He's a starter. He's a contributor. And I mean, the fact that he's still, bro, we got to give him credit where credit's like. Like the Gary Payton ring, he was coming off the bench. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a little.
I know. I won't say it'd be like.
down.
Yeah, no, I won't say it'd be like that. But I think that winning a ring in your peak means something.
For sure, but it also means something to be a contributor still. Like,
Oh, for sure.
the fact that he's the third option. Like,
Yeah.
although he's not the number one right now,
Yeah.
he's the third option on that team. So like, he still has a legit role. Like, if he won a ring with the Sixers, we wouldn't have batted an eye. Like, it would have just been like, that's James Harden championship with Joel. It would have been like green. But I think he still has a window of opportunity right now to get a ring that matters,
Yeah.
even if it is with like a Clippers team that is pretty stacked up.
Yeah.
because that's just the culture of the league today. Is like, get a ring however you can get it. Like, it don't really matter where you go, who you do it with. And that's kind of been established through LeBron and KD. Just like, control your own destiny. Go win wherever. So
Yeah.
I feel like if he did win a ring with the Clippers, no one's going to bat an eye. Especially when you look at him like, oh yeah, he was an all-star or a champion.
That's the third option.
That's the third option. He's still a champion.
Okay.
He averaging what? 17 to 20.
The whole Oklahoma City thing comes full circle just because he would have been a
Third
third
option.
option on a championship team over there too.
Crazy.
But yeah, I think Charles Barkley, Harden's a good one.
I was going to say Harden or Chris might be
Chris Paul.
No.
Oh, he's not an MVP, but
I like Embiid. Joel. That's kind of maybe some recency bias.
yeah.
But
he's up
MVP, one of the best centers we've ever seen, if you really look at it in terms of talent.
there. Is it crazy to call him a top
It's
five
not.
talent?
A top five talent is
Top
not.
five talent? Come on.
At all. It's really not. You guys are tripping. Shout out the members.
Come on.
But it's like,
Shout out the members.
but it's like, no, Joel Embiid should be one of the greatest players if he doesn't win a championship to never win a shit.
Yeah. I see in the notes. We got to hit this real quick. Do you think that Kawhi and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander would have been a better duo than Kawhi and PG?
Yes, I think so, but I think it would have taken longer to get to that point. I mean, on paper, Paul George was coming off of his MVP caliber year in Oklahoma City, so it was hard to say no to that. Shai wasn't playing like this until last year. So, I mean, although they're health-wise, the Clippers could have just honestly waited.
He's been solid he's been solid in Oklahoma City though. Like, I mean, Chris Paul might have something to do with that, just helping him out.
Yeah. But, I mean, last year was his first all-pro year. Like, that was with him really
True, but at this
stepping into his own.
point, they haven't won any rings since Shai's been Shai's been coming up. The Clippers haven't won anything anyway. So at this point, Shai and Kawhi, if you already waited this long to win a ring, at this point he would have been nasty.
Yeah.
And you would have kept all your picks, all your pick swaps, all that, because that's going to hurt him. I think that Paul George he might be out of there. They haven't extended him yet. He might go to Philly. That'd be nice.
I know we talked
Go to
about that. That'd be
Philly
real.
or the Pacers. Like we talked about before, the wing position is the most sought out position in the NBA. But yeah, I mean, I think that Kawhi and Shai would have been a better duo. I mean, short term, yeah, Kawhi and PG. They're and they've been nice, but they haven't been able to be on the court at the same time. Shai, I don't think he's been hurt like that. I mean, a lot of these point guards be having ankle issues. I mean, he'll probably miss a game here and there, but I feel like he's reliable.
Yeah. And I feel like his game would also gel better alongside Kawhi. I feel like he's a true ball handling point. Paul George is more so just like a isolation, look for my own shot sort of guy.
And it's just like they won 2 games against the best team to ever assemble when he was a Clipper. And he was a starting point guard on that team. I would have been, if I'm Kawhi, I'm looking at that like, he's already getting there.
Yeah.
And I don't want to give Doc any credit. He's talking about, I was talking to Ballmer. I didn't want to do it. Is there any way we can keep Shai out the trade? That's cat. I know he was like, oh, Paul George,
Bring him in.
Bring him in.
Bring him in.
Right. Lou Williams and Pat Bev talk about, well, I just won a fucking championship. Hell no. Damn.
They couldn't stop Kevin Durant.
Durant's a little monster, man, but he's finna be the second best OKC player after this year.
Oh man, that's a hot take.
Is there anything else you got?
I'm good money.
Well, that's a wrap. The LLs, we just hit 230 subscribers.
We're going to the moon. Y'all just roll with us.
But we're rolling, man.
Let's
we're
do
rolling. Make sure you like and subscribe. I mean, it's gonna help us out. It's gonna help us out. Help out the channel. We're trying to get monetized. We're trying to get money.
We're going to different places. Keep up with us.
Yeah, no, hey, a lot. Hey, it's the end of February. Look, it's the end of February. Do that.
You gotta have some rapport to come onto the Layup Lounge.
Yeah, no,
Not just anybody can come into the Layup Lounge.
No, and not just anybody can come to the Layup Lounge. We're gonna get some names. So
As long as y'all do your due diligence, we gonna get some names.
we need the due diligence because we ain't even gonna speak on it. We got people online though. We got people online.
Wait till the summer.
Summer we up. And that's been we out.
Episode 16, Layup Lounge.
Episode 16. We out.
Come on. Let's get it.
Bronny James, first round pick.